roll the next one. Mr. Speaker, as part of the Agenda 111, clearly in this budget, an allocation has been made. And not only has it been made, Mr. Speaker, again, we are also going to partner the private sector. Mr. Speaker, we are going to partner the private sector, bring them on board, complete them, equip them, and then manage them. What is important to His Excellency the President is the fact that the ordinary Ghanaian will have access to quality health care delivery. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Honorable members, the member used just about 13 minutes out of his 15. But before we go to the next contributor, let me acknowledge the presence of our visitors. So far, I have from 3 institutions. The first is from the Learning Tree Foundation, led by the Chief Executive Officer, Rosemary Osei Kufuor. There are 60 in number coming from the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency. Please, they are at the left side of the speaker at the public gallery. On your behalf, I warmly welcome them to Parliament. And I congratulate the Chief Executive Officer for leading them here. Please, you are warmly welcome. You may resume your seat. We also have students from the Mawuli Senior High School, led by the teacher by name Christian Agbachi. There are 77 in number coming from the whole central constituency. Straight ahead of me are the students. Please, you are also warmly welcome, and you may resume your seat. The third group is from the St. Paul Catholic Church, Sinasi Brekum. There are 36 in number, and they are led by the chaplain and financial secretary, James Ousu Ababio and Anchi Augustine. As I said, there are 36 in number, and it's located at the Brekum East constituency. You are also warmly welcome, and please, you may resume your seat. We will now listen to the comments from the Minority Caucus in the person of Dr. Nana Ayew. You have 15 minutes.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I thank you as I take my turn to comment on the principles of the budget. Mr. Speaker, I've heard the Minister of Health speak copiously on the policy, and as I take my turn, I would want to say that there's a high level of inconsistencies. There's a high level of inconsistencies as far as this budget is concerned. Mr. Speaker, I'm not sure the resetting is actually adjusted. I'm not sure the resetting is adjusted. Mr. Speaker, if you go to paragraph 590, it says that, Mr. Speaker, the ministry continue to expand access to quality health care in line with the Universal Health Coverage Roadmap. The National Health Insurance Fund was uncapped to provide stable financing for vaccines, essential commodities, HIV services, and free primary health care initiative under Mahama Care. Mr. Speaker, this paragraph, I will dissect it into two halves. The first half, Mr. Speaker, is talking about uncapping NHIF. Mr. Speaker, this doesn't sit well with the people of this country. Mr. Speaker, if you talk about uncapping, last year, the envelope was 8 billion, capped to 6.8 billion. Of the 6.8 billion that was given to the NHIA, 6.5 billion was released to them, performance of 95.5%. Performance of 95.5%. Mr. Speaker, now, when you uncapped, the envelope size was 10 billion. It was revised to 8 billion. Mr. Speaker, when it was revised to 8 billion, you capped an amount of 20% for the Mahama Care Trust. Now, and that's by law, Mr. Speaker, that is by law. 20% of that amount was allocated for the Mahama Care Trust. Now, in essence, that was capping. Now, if you cap 20%, you have taken 1.6 billion out of 8 billion, and that itself remains 6.4 billion, which is woefully less of what we allocated to the NHIA last year. We gave them 6.8 billion, and you gave 6.4 billion. Mr. Speaker, as of now, 25th November, you have performed worse. Mr. Speaker, the allocation to the NHIA as of now is woefully under 4.5 billion. Woefully under 4.5 billion. The allocation to the NHIA is woefully under 4.5 billion. Mr. Speaker, this statement said, we are uncapping to make funds available.
Honorable
but if
member,
you uncap and cap,
honorable member, please, just a minute. We're taking note of your timing, so nobody will take a minute from you. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, my colleague is misleading the House. Mr. Speaker, as of today, as I speak to you now, the disbursement from the even allocation and the lodgement of funds in the National Health Insurance Levy and the fund stands around 7.5 billion and not 4 billion. Where is he getting the 4 billion from? Where? Mr. Speaker, this house is a house of records. You cannot be misleading the people like that. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, come on, bring it on.
Honorable member, you may continue.
Mr. Speaker, he may want to table the respective documents to the table's office. Otherwise, you are misleading us. Mr. Speaker,
honorable members,
you capped.
To solve the problem, I want both of you to table your documents to solve the problem so that we know whether it's 4.5 billion or 7.5 billion. We just need your documents, and that's all. We'll solve the problem. Yes, but you may continue.
Mr. Speaker, so if you uncap and make 8 billion available, and you further cap it by 20% to Mahama Care Trust, now what is actually available is not the 8 billion, it's actually 6.4 billion for NHIA to perform. That's the truth. So we cannot be here for you to write in the statement that the NHIF was uncapped to provide stable financing for vaccines, when you know very well that the uncapping was recapped and what is available is not actually what you are saying. So this one doesn't really sit well with the agenda resetting. Mr. Speaker, then again, you look at the statement of the minister. He says that, and the free primary health care initiative under Mahama Care. This is confusing. Mr. Speaker, Mahama Care, you are saying, is for specialist services. Mahama Care, you say, is for non-communicable diseases. Then again, you come and say in this statement that we are making funds available as we made it for Mahama Care to take care of Mahama Care, including free primary healthcare services. So the pre-primary healthcare services, are we further smuggling that to be under Mahama Care to further compete with other financing allocation to the NHIA? This is inconsistent. This is so inconsistent. Mr. Speaker, I'll move on. As I move on, I come to the principles of the budget. You didn't talk about blood, the lifeline of the human and the lifeline of this country. Mr. Speaker, today, I say, and I tender in this document, that Zipline is decommissioning. Is decommissioning 4 of its centers. 3 of its centers. Center 4, Center 5, and then Center 6. What does this mean? There has been non-engagement. There has been non-engagement and also inability for government to provide funds for Zipline. Mr. Speaker, the allocation this year was 20 million, knowing very well that you owe Zipline as of now 175 million. Mr. Speaker, what this means is that, as this letter says, they are shutting down these 3 centers. The Enum Center supplies the whole of Volta region. It supplies part of Eastern region and the Afram Plains. Mr. Speaker, they are also shutting down the Western North, Seshi. The minister's own backyard, Seshi, we also distribution center. That means that they are not supplying blood, medicines, vaccines to the whole Western North, part of Western region, part of Central region, Ashanti region, Ahafo, Bono. Mr. Speaker, they are also shutting down, effective today, Table Office, the Karachi Distribution Center. And that means that Karachi, part of Savannah, and also East Afram Plains, effective today, people are going to die needlessly of shortage of blood, medication, vaccines. Mr. Speaker, the reasons why they are shutting down is because of the lack of funding. The resetting has made sure that there's no funding to the Zipline entity. The resetting has made sure that these people are not supposed to provide services. And for that matter, Zipline is best described as a comatose entity needing resuscitation. And that resuscitation they need for themselves is actually l'argent, money. They are not being given. Mr. Speaker, this news is terrifying to the ordinary person living in remote areas in this country. Mr. Speaker, as a matter of fact, we must do something urgently about it because the shutdown starts today. And this is not right. Something should have been done and something should have been mentioned of it in the principles of this budget. But that is not so. And I hope the minister will do something about it because life lost, especially a lot of emergencies that we have. Maternal death is all related to lack of blood and blood-related products. So this letter that is saying that you have not engaged them, and for that matter, they are shutting down, is worrying. And it is addressed to the Minister of Health, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, again, I go to the issue of recruiting of staff. Mr. Speaker, let's be honest with ourselves. This year, we are told in the budget that 13,500 nurses were placed on the payroll. Mr. Speaker, this document, August, this clearance was given to 15,200 nurses and midwives. And that was to take care of all those who graduated in 2020. Mr. Speaker, this year, about 6,700 of them had not been taken. And there was all these agitations. One of the staff even actually had to speak some sort of way that the minister was not happy. Mr. Speaker, we had to come in. But why would you sit for the opposition to come in on issue, to put pressure on you before you see the need to get to sort yourselves out? And what was the issue? The issue was just extension. Extension. If in any case, if you give a warrant and it expires, all you have to do is to extend it because of political reasons. Because of political reasons, they did not extend. And for that matter, as I stand here, Mr. Speaker, if I'm told by this budget that this year, they took 13,500, Mr. Speaker, this is not true. Any person who was placed on the payroll was regards to the allocation that was extended by last year. So what it means is that they have actually enrolled the 2020 nurses. I would want to ask, the 2021 batch of nurses and midwives are expecting to be recruited to the service. And normally it's done in August. I want to ask, has that been done? That has not been done. That has not been done. So if you say you have placed people on payroll, on which payroll? Which nurses are they? Which midwives are they? Which country are they serving? Whilst we are clear, they are listening to me. Mr. Speaker, they are listening to me. The nurses of 2021, they are listening to me. Yesterday, I met a couple of them. They have not been placed on their payroll. If you are doing something, you are trying to tell Ghanaians that you continued what the MPP government did. The 6,000 or 7,000 people who were not placed that you placed, don't take glory for it. You are actually taking glory for what was not done that you could have done, that they had to agitate for before
Honorable
you did
member,
so.
hold your breath. Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me remind the House that you invited the two of us to table our evidence to the National Health Insurance expenditure, and my evidence is ready. That's the first one. I want to table it. So he will also table his evidence. Mr. Speaker, as a minister responsible for health, I have stated it on this floor that government has put about 13,500 nurses on the by cabinet, and the Minister for Finance, and you have a member of Parliament on his feet saying that nobody has been put on the payroll. How do you speak like that? Or based on what are you saying that nobody has been put on the payroll? Any evidence? The controller, Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Finance, the Minister responsible for Finance has written to the Controller and Accountant General. And you sit here and you say that nobody has been put on the payroll.
Salaries have been processed.
And salaries have been processed to that effect.
The 2021 nurses and midwives,
yes.
Public and private, have you employed them?
Honorable member.
Have you employed them?
Honorable member.
No. All right.
Honorable member.
Yes, Speaker.
Mr.
Speaker, I refuse to be interrupted. I would want to, under your direction, continue my presentation, if you so.
Yes, allow. I just wanted to draw your attention to the fact that he's challenging your statement, which I believe is a statement of fact, that the number he gave of government putting 13,500 on the payroll is untrue. That's what you are saying. That's the position you have taken.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
And he's asking for the basis. God here provided the basis for his 13,500.
Mr. Speaker, my position is that.
No, I'm not talking about your position. I'm talking about the statement of fact.
Mr. Speaker, technically speaking, 7,000 of all those people were part of the clearance that was issued last, and those were those which were placed, the 2020 batch. But I'm asking, have you, Ghanaians are listening, have you recruited the 2021 batch of nurses and midwives? That has not been done. That has not been done. So that is the politics of it. You are creating the impression to Ghanaians that this year you have recruited nurses and midwives, whilst you are enjoying the clearance of last year. I'm only exposing them. Mr. Speaker. We are speaking to two things. You met a financial clearance.
That is what we wanted clarification on.
Yes.
Now your position is that, yes, we have 13,500 on the payroll, but that did not include the 2021 nurses.
Absolutely. So they are based upon the financial clearance. Okay. They are based upon the MPP's financial clearance.
Yes,
so nothing. You have not added.
Now we get to a point.
You
Please,
have not added anything to.
Honorable member.
Because you are only coming to the public.
Honorable member, you can go on. You can go on. Please, you can go on.
Okay, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
So I have tidied it, and thanks for your guidance, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the clearance of last year under the MPP government was not 50 was not 13,500. And Mr. Minister, you need to add 1,700 more because it was 15,200. And you have placed them on the payroll and actually it reflects 13,500. So you need to add some 1,700 to it. And these are going to be those of 2020. Again, every year we have to add on. So this year we are expecting the clearance for the 2021 nurses and midwives. That you have not done. Mr. Speaker, I'm asking my good friend on the other side to do it. And that one, he can come here and tell us that this year they have added on 2021. Otherwise, we move into next year and they are now going to do 2021. And they have shortchanged those of 2022. Else he has to combine the two of them, 2021 and 2022. And that is worrying. Mr. Speaker, the agenda of resetting, this fundamentally exposes resetting. You should reset properly so that we know that this year you are adding on 2021 and then you are adding 2022. But for you to give a reset gap where you take 2021 to 2026, it's worrying, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with regards to the agenda,
Honorable Minister, he has raised a very serious matter.
Yes.
That there are still some of our nurses that are crying to be absorbed on the payroll, and that you should take it as a priority and make sure that that is done.
Most grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am guided by your appeal. But let the records capture that they left 74,000 health professionals at home. 74,000 health professionals at home. Mr. Speaker, when they recruited in 2024, Mr. Speaker, you don't just recruit, you make financial provisions. So when you recruit, you must pay them. Mr. Speaker, no financial provision was made for the recruited nurses. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it was also not even as a part of our handing over notes. And so, Mr. Speaker, we were confronted with the realities in 2025, and we had to make amendment to put all the 13,500 nurses on the payroll in 2025 alone. Wow. Mr. Speaker, if you put 13,500 on a payroll and you have not even exhausted everything, Mr. Speaker, you must take in some strategies to be able to reflect on how going forward you absorb more. Mr. Speaker, not only that, government has decided to use managed migration. Mr. Speaker, we are looking at how we can export some of these health professionals outside the country, and some other countries are responding to it. So we have better plans than them, Mr. Speaker. You could have done it. 74,000 people. What were you doing?
Honorable member, you may continue.
Speaker, I hope you'll be generous with me with regard to some time. Mr. Speaker, I stand again to say that the good people of this country voted against the MPP. For that matter, fix it. Fix it. You were voted to fix it, so fix it. Mr. Speaker, in 2017, the MPP met a backlog. As of 2017, the last batch of nurses who were recruited were 2011, 6 years or so, 6 years. We fixed it. We fixed it. So it is for you to fix it. I don't expect him to, as of now, 11 months into government, complaining of what they left. When you left over 6 years, Mr. Speaker, there's no room for this. The Agenda 111, Mr. Speaker. The Agenda 111. The commitment is so poor, Mr. Speaker. You're talking about building regional hospitals, university.
Please kindly give the member 1 minute. 1 minute.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
yes.
Agenda 111. How can you go and build regional hospitals to increase referrals when you are supposed to take care in those same regions the many hospitals that will allow people not to spend a lot of money, and the referrals will be less? You want them to leave their homes and take a lot of transport, a high cost of transport, knowing very well that, according to Thaddeus and Main, it affects access to health care. You want them to leave their districts to go to the regional centers, increasing referrals when you are supposed to look for money to take care of Agenda 111. Mr. Speaker, there's an anomaly here. This is inconsistent. And Mr. Minister, Would you want to say that, Mr. Minister, as I make my debate? You have not been, the Speaker have not given you. So, Mr. Speaker, I want the Honorable Minister to know that attaining universal health care 2030, every country is going towards district, citing hospitals close to the rural areas. We've gone past that time where we put them in the main city. That's what you encourage.
Honorable Member, your time is up. Your time is up. Honorable members, it's now the time of Honorable Kwame Abuja. 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to comment on a very realistic and forward-looking budget read on behalf of the President by the Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, there's an issue that is of a national concern that I want to touch on before I speak about roads. Mr. Speaker, when I became an MP, one day I was there and I was told that the former MP of my constituency was taken ill. I quickly called and I was told that he needed to be airlifted from the whole government hospital to 37. I called Honorable Nitiwu, who was the Minister for Defense at the time. And then within the shortest period, he dispatched a military helicopter who airlifted Honorable Akoli to the Air Force Base and onward to Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this simply because the military provide services beyond what we think in our country. So when we are discussing providing support for the military, it is not merely to support them to fight wars. The military provide significant civil support services. Mr. Speaker, I listened last week when colleagues sought to critique government decision to retool the Ghana Armed Forces. In their view, the amount of money set aside to provide 4 new helicopters and then some 2 other aircraft for the use of the military and the executive was unnecessary. Mr. Speaker, I just want to draw attention of this House that it is in our interest to be very cautious and very careful when we make these comments. It is quite interesting that, Mr. Speaker, the side that today opposes this was comfortable, for instance, to spend $97 million on the site of the cathedral. To them, prioritizing the $97 million to dig a hole was better than supporting the military. The same site actually looked on when 1.6 billion Ghana cedi was, basically misapplied at the National Service Secretariat, and they are saying that they prefer 1.6 billion Ghana cedi to be misapplied at the National Service Secretariat rather than supporting the military. Interestingly, Mr. Speaker, a certain, defense minister sat in cabinet when that cabinet approved the purchase of 3 helicopters. It turns out that those helicopters were 50-year-old, in fact, older than that minister of defense himself. The helicopter was older than the defense minister who actually participated. In fact, at that time, a certain minority leader also was around 47 years, participated when those 3 helicopters were bought for the police. Today, Mr. Speaker, 3 helicopters were bought for the police, Mr. Speaker. Nothing comes of it. Cannot even fly from the hangar to anywhere. And this side of the aisle actually supported those things. And yet today, when we say we want to retool the military, they are talking about it. Mr. Speaker, I don't think this is the right way to look at this. And so I am encouraging them to be careful when we talk about these things, especially if it's about the military. Mr. Speaker, let me come to road. Mr. Speaker, indeed, almost everybody I meet, whenever we visit every community, colleagues, including this morning, come to the Ministry of Road and Highways, complaining about the nature of the terrible roads in their communities. And Mr. Speaker, that is true. Yes, I agree with you. The road network in our country is nothing that anybody should be proud of. Mr. Speaker, we should invest to improve the roads. But Mr. Speaker, I want to give you a perspective of where we ended up, or where we started from. Mr. Speaker, in 2016, the entire commitment under all the agencies of the road ministry was just 10 billion Ghana cedis. That is all road projects awarded across all the agencies, including road fund, was just around 10 billion. And then bills unpaid was just about 7 billion. By the end of 2027, Mr. Speaker, the side opposite left projects contracted at least 110 billion Ghana cedis. And then the bills left unpaid is in excess of 40 billion Ghana cedis. And they look us in the face and tell us that this is a better management of a country. No, it cannot be. Mr. Speaker, as of the time President Mahama took office, more than 90% of contractors were not on site. And colleagues from this side and the other side come to me, Honorable, what will you do? In fact, if you listen to the questions, what will you do to get the contractors back to site? As if we were the ones who asked the contractors to leave site. Some of those contractors left site in 2020, 2022, 2023, because they worked and were never paid. And that is what the situation is. But guess what, Mr. Speaker? The President directed, as the Honorable Minister for Health also said, that no ongoing project should be abandoned. Unlike 2017, when the side opposite took over power, what did they do? They made a policy statement to suspend all road projects, especially Cocoa Road, that they were doing investigation. By the time they finished, and in fact, I remember very well, the former minister stood here and said that there were so many things wrong with Cocoa Roads and other things. Mr. Speaker, I beg to say that today, if you see the Cocoa Road program they left, it is appalling. Mr. Speaker, we will continue and find resources to make sure that all these abandoned projects are continued. And there's one that is dear to my heart. And I wish my colleague, Honorable former Minister for Road was here, Honorable Asenso. Mr. Speaker, when you serve in a high office, a privileged office as a minister, you should conduct yourself as a nationalist. All his examples are as if the road between Accra and Kumasi is the only road in the country. It doesn't sound well as politicians when we have tunnel vision about development in our country. Mr. Speaker, where you come from, Upper West. Mr. Speaker, you wouldn't even dream of driving from Accra to Wa, because it's one of the most terrible roads in our country. Because it's been abandoned for years. And people say that there's no traffic on that road. How can you have a traffic on the road that is completely abandoned? What kind of traffic are you expecting on the road between Bolga and Wa? Because it's nothing to write home about. That is why President Mahama has put together a plan to, one, retire the debt we owe contractors. So for the first time on record, at a single payment, he paid over 5 billion to contractors who are owed about 40 billion. Mr. Speaker, that cannot clear the debt. But that is a significant amount of money for a government that came to power, cannot borrow anything. So we are going to continue this. And guess what? All these payments went to contracts that were awarded before we took over. That is a government that is determined that not again should we have a situation where government abandon projects. Mr. Speaker, the other thing I want to talk about is the big push. Again, my colleague actually sought to make very unfounded statements on this floor. For instance, that the big push projects do not have feasibility. Mr. Speaker, I put it on record. Every single big push project has a full feasibility report as required by the agency under the Ministry of Finance. So when you are a former minister for road, you should speak with credibility. So I hope he was here. I would have offered him the opportunity to withdraw and said that he didn't get it right. Exactly. Mr. Speaker, he also sought to say that all the big push projects are sole source. Mr. Speaker, that is also not right. That is also not right. And if you serve in that office, you should be able to speak so that you can be believed. Mr. Speaker, this is the fact. The President's big push projects are not merely road projects. They are intended to create access through the major corridors of our country. The Eastern Corridor, the Western Corridor, the Central Corridor, and then the Northeast Corridor, and some of the ring roads in our country. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to report this morning that all these corridors that I've mentioned, contractors are already on site and working. I heard him saying that we will not be able to complete it. Where is the source of fund? We have already allocated 13 billion Ghana cedi for the phase 1, which is this budget. Mr. Speaker, I can tell you that 13 billion actually exists this morning. Any contractor working under the big push who raises a certificate this morning will be paid. And I want to encourage contractors to continue. In the 2026 budget, we set aside another 30 billion to make sure that even next year, when contractors raise certificate, they will be paid. Mr. Speaker, I'm dreaming of the day that you can drive, not because you cannot fly, from Accra through Wenchi, through Sola to Wa on an asphalt road. That is what the president is thinking of. And that is what is going to happen by the end of 2027. So those naysayers who say that we are not going to be able to do it, of course, there were people in this country who said that Ghana cannot get independence, but we got independence. When Akosombo Dam was supposed to be built, some people actually told Americans, don't fund them. Today, Akosombo Dam is there for all of us. Even when Terminal 3, the Kotoka Terminal 3 was about to be built, they said it's a waste of money. Today, the duty-free and other shops there belong to some of their relatives. Yeah. So it is not unusual for a certain group of people to always doubt the capability of Ghanaians. And I'm telling you, Ghanaians are capable. We are going to be able to build this road. Under President Mahama, you will drive on asphalt road from Wenchi through Sola to Wa, and this is going to happen within 2.5 years. Mr. Speaker, there's also an issue of abandoned project. Mr. Speaker, the reality.
Yes, Honorable Minister, Honorable Dr. Amwa is on his feet. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respectable friend and a brother, Honorable Minister, has made a statement that per order 122, content. This is an august house of facts and figures. He made mention that when His Excellency Kwame Nkrumah was trying to construct the motorway, he was told by some people that Americans were told by some Ghanaians that they shouldn't finance it. This is a serious statement. I would like my minister to substantiate what he said, because this is an august house. This is where we make laws. This is where Ghanaians are taking a lot of pieces of information for their decision-making processes. So I would like my honorable minister to actually provide the source and how credible it is, so that we can also correct this in the near future. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister, is demanding evidence to support the statement you made with regard to the construction of the Akosombo Dam.
Mr. Speaker, I will provide that evidence in due course. No, Mr. Speaker, I did not only mention that. I started by saying that there were citizens of this country when Ghana under President Nkrumah wanted to have independence. They said it's not yet time. I'm wondering why he didn't even worry about that one. Then I went ahead and talked about the fact that yes, Dr. Nkrumah's attempt to build a dam faced challenges here. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy you recommended somebody to sell some books to all of us. I'll table that the reference from that book, Mr. Speaker. Oh, of course, Mr. Speaker. I didn't want to mention names of those people, so I'll continue, Mr. Speaker. There's also a question about why a particular project, Accra-Kumasi bypasses, are not being completed. Mr. Speaker, let me put it on record. President Mahama's government never asked any contractor working on the bypasses on Accra-Kumasi to stop work. Indeed, I called all the contractors and encouraged them to continue working. However, what they told me was that at the time of contracting, the time they were asked to go to site, they were not shown details of the alignment. And this was told in the presence of the finance minister, that they flew a drone and showed them a drone image of the alignment. When they got to the site and they started working, they saw galamsey pits and swamp areas. So as we speak, Mr. Speaker, almost all the contracts, the prices have more than 100% increased. And this happened in 2023. Unfortunately, the side opposite made no effort to actually capture the variation. Today, as we speak, we are being told that we need another 3 billion or so to be able to complete the bypasses on Kumasi Road. And President Mahama is doing that. Indeed, one of the sections has actually been completed and taken over. We intend to make sure that in stages we complete the site on of the Accra-Kumasi Road. Mr. Speaker, there's also an issue about the Accra-Kumasi Express way. Mr. Speaker, this project
Yes. Just a minute. Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, thank you once again. Because my honorable, respectable member could not substantiate the credible source needed for such important piece of information, I would like the statement to be expunged until he does so, because we can't keep any piece of information here that we cannot substantiate. It's extremely inimical to the performance of our republic, and we need to do that.
Mr. Speaker, one of the books.
Honorable Dr. Amwa, if I have to apply this your rule, I don't know how many of you can make contribution on this floor. You may disagree with him. He may provide some evidence. You may disagree with that evidence, because these are records that some people kept, and they are actually in books. And some of those records are having partisan colors, and you need to investigate into them seriously. So you start looking at what weight to attach to this evidence, and that kind of. This is not a trial. And that is why usually in these cases we allow the debate to flow. That is it. If you have anything beyond that, then the avenue is different from the plenary session of Parliament. So please, let's move on. And Honorable Minister, you have a few more minutes.
Mr. Speaker, one of the books I would have recommended to my colleague is a book entitled Dark Days in Ghana by Dr. Nkrumah. I'm sure when you read that book, you will notice that, because there are so many things, Dark Days in Ghana by Dr. Nkrumah. Mr. Speaker, there's also talk about why they need to build an expressway from Accra to Kumasi. Mr. Speaker, I think we should have done that many years ago. Mr. Speaker, we should have done that many years ago. Currently, if you want to drive from Accra to Kumasi, you are faced with a journey of over 250 kilometers, and through communities that have overgrown and encroaching on the road. The bypasses alone cannot solve the problem. We are creating a new growth pole. And Mr. Speaker, already halfway through the study, we just realized that we can cut that journey to under 200 kilometers. Imagine what 50 kilometers means to the fuel tank of an average person. It means that 40% of the travel time can also be taken off. How can you tell me this is not important? Mr. Speaker, not only that, once we are able to determine this alignment, the idea is to put alongside a railway, which is finally a high-speed train from Accra to Kumasi and beyond in the future. How can you say this is not important? Indeed, you spend over $100 million under the so-called Buankra Integrated Logistics Terminal, which is in the bush. Nothing is being done because no transporter is ready to move goods from Tema on the road and take it to Buankra, and then somebody from Swami will now come to Buankra to clear it. If you can get to Buankra, you would rather take it back to Kumasi itself. So this project will actually unlock the potential of the Buankra Integrated Logistics.
Honorable Minister, your time is up.
Mr. Speaker, can I plead for the same 1 minute you gave to my colleague?
Yes, 1 minute to
Mr.
conclude.
Speaker, I just want to recap that two issues I came here with. That, colleagues, when we are talking about the military, when we are talking about the armed forces, today, you forget that you have, some of us have police people following us. Even if we go to the grocery shop, they follow us. All this costs money, and providing the necessary support for them is very necessary. Let us not trivialize the issue of retooling the armed forces. It's very critical. And Mr. Speaker, we will work together with our colleagues in this House to make sure that all budgetary allocation made on behalf of the Ministry of Road and Highways is applied to improve the road network in our country. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Honorable, yes, point of order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, I'd like to correct an impression being created by the Minister for Roads. He is creating an impression as if the
Honorable Member, you rose on a point of order.
In fact, Mr. Speaker.
Now you are correcting impressions.
Mr. Speaker, I was
What is the order that has been breached?
Mr. Speaker, I was up already for a very long time. I couldn't catch your eye.
You caught my ear.
Oh, I was rather trying to catch your eye.
Because you said point of order.
No,
so
I did not say
turned,
that.
and then I saw you on your feet.
Mr. Speaker, I did not say that. I did not say point of order.
Honorable Member, please. You said point of order, and I just want to hear your point of order, the order that we have breached. If it is not a point of order, the rules are clear. Oh, point of clarification or elucidation. Then I will listen to you. But to argue with me, you can't win this battle.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Obviously, I can never win a battle against you. There is no way I can do that. But point of clarification, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister for Roads created an impression that the MPP government did not do anything to retool the Ghana Armed Forces. That is palpable falsehood. In fact, retooling of the Ghana Armed Forces was done to the extent that at a point when we wanted to acquire a long endurance vessel for the Ghana Navy, my colleague from the other side of the aisle actually rejected it when even IMF gave us an opening to do that.
Honorable Member, that is not point of order or point of clarification. When we come to your turn, you put that across. There are so many things that are in our heads, but we allocate it in such a way that we try to give you some time to also say what is in your head. So please, I'm sure that your name will be submitted. Let me check and see whether your name is there. The name is?
Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, my name is not there. I've been ill for some time now. And so I couldn't even give my name out. I was scheduled to be here on Friday, but I was taken ill, so I couldn't do that.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Because we have about 13 members from the minority side and the same number from the majority side for today. And so a lot more will be contributing. And you may get opportunity if the Lord smiles at you. Please, is the turn now of Honorable Vincent Eko Asafua. 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the 2026 budget estimate and the economic policy of the Republic of Ghana, which was read by the Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, before I proceed on my point of argument, let me correct this erroneous statement that was made by the Minister of Roads. Mr. Speaker, we have adopted unto ourselves constitutionalism. This country is ruled by rules and by laws. It cannot be said that things that are cardinal to our constitution i.e., presumption of before you can be pronounced guilty, or if you plead guilty by yourself. And so it is erroneous for the Minister of Roads to say that at the National Service Secretariat, 1.6 billion was misused by certain people. Mr. Speaker, on what basis did he say that? This cannot be allowed to stand. Mr. Speaker, number two, when he also says that the Akufo-Addo government did not do anything about retooling of the Ghana Armed Forces, Mr. Speaker, that is also not correct. Last year, I was right here in this house when the Akufo-Addo government presented an agreement to be considered by this house. At the time, they were here. They resisted and argued against the retooling of the Ghana Armed Forces to the extent that that agreement was not taken on this floor. So on what basis can you conclude that the Akufo-Addo government failed to retool the Ghana Armed Forces? Mr. Speaker, now I move to my own points of argument. Mr. Speaker, last week when I was listening to the finance minister, the youth of this country was expecting a budget of prosperity. Unfortunately, we had disappointment. Mr. Speaker, we were expecting a budget of relief. After the budget, what we got was a disappointment. We were expecting a budget of opportunity. The youth of this country did not get that opportunity. Mr. Speaker, this budget can best be likened to a cow dunk. Mr. Speaker, estrono, den, asiano, mre, peche. Mr. Speaker, to wait. On the surface, it looks robust, but the devil is in the detail. And in the detail, you realize that the Ghanaian people has been shortchanged, especially the youth. In the build-up to the 2024 elections, the NDC championed this campaign policy of creating jobs for the Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, key among them was the Ejumera. Mr. Speaker, I hold in my hands here the policy manual, the training manual of the Ejumera program. Mr. Speaker, page 10 of that policy, they state that this program aims to train and establish at least 10,000 youth-led businesses each year over a 4-year period. Mr. Speaker, they are targeting 40,000 businesses by 2029. Mr. Speaker, here is the catch. They say that fully funded under the 2025 national budget through the Ministry of Finance, it shall also provide grant funding to 2,000 viable businesses each year. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, in 2025, an amount of 100 million Ghana cedis was allocated to NEP. Currently, only a paltry figure of 34 billion Ghana cedis has been released to the NEP. My question is, assuming without admitting that all the 34 million Ghana cedis will have to be disbursed to the 34 million Ghana cedis, which is not even possible, but assuming without admitting that all the 34 million Ghana cedis will be disbursed to the 2,000 people, a simple calculation will tell you that each person is going to get a paltry sum of about 17,000 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, in this country, can you use 17,000 Ghana cedis to establish a business? How much is even a container? Container, you say. How much is a container to use a 17,000 Ghana cedis to establish businesses in this country? Mr. Speaker, they also said that they were going to train over 10,000 people as far as the National Apprenticeship Program is concerned. Mr. Speaker, I have in my hands here a publication from Graphic Online. This publication, this is when President Mahama himself was launching the National Apprenticeship Program. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency the President said that in the 2025 year, they are going to train 10,000 people under the National Apprenticeship Program. Mr. Speaker, I read, that is paragraph 4 and 5.
Honorable Member, just a minute. Please, So many of you are on your feet. I don't know what you are doing. Please, honorable member, you are leaders. And I've told you the rule that when you are on your feet and you want to whisper to a colleague, you stand by the side of the colleague so that your back is in the maze. That is the authority of the house. And you all know traditionally, you don't stand with your back to the chief. This is the authority of the house. It's not the speaker. The authority is there, the maze. So please, when you want to at least whisper to a colleague, go to the side of the colleague and then whisper, but facing the maze, not with your back to the maze. That is complete disrespect. Now, next time I see any of you on your feet that way, I will name the person and read the rules about naming and be guided by it. Honorable member, you may continue.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, to continue with my point, I raised the point that there is a graphic online publication, and this publication speaks to the effect that at the time that His Excellency the President was launching the National Apprenticeship Program, the promise to the people of Ghana was that he is going to train 10,000 people in the year 2025. Mr. Speaker, per paragraph 4 and 5, it went ahead, or if you like, His Excellency the President went ahead to promise the people of Ghana that in the year 2026, they are now going to scale it up to 100,000 people. Mr. Speaker, and I read, additionally, the second phase, which is expected to be rolled out in 2026, will benefit more than 100,000 people. Mr. Speaker, now the big question is, in the 2025 budget, an amount of 300 million Ghana cedis was allocated to the National Apprenticeship Program. Now, when you check, assuming that the amount of money that was released currently, which is about 150 million Ghana cedis, Mr. Speaker, if you divide 150 million Ghana cedis by 10,000 people, assuming that all the monies are going to be shared, or if you like disbursed to all the trainees, the people who are going to, the amount of money that they are going to get is about 15,000 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, I ask again, what kind of business can you really use 15,000 Ghana cedis for? Can it even buy a container for yourself? Absolutely no. I do not think that 15,000 Ghana cedis is enough to be able to establish a business in this country. Mr. Speaker, again, because the president also promised that they are going to scale it up to 100,000 people, the budget estimate for 2025 was 300 million Ghana cedis. Now in 2026, logical reasoning will tell you that if you use 300 million Ghana cedis to train 10,000 people, then in 2026, the allocation should be about 3 billion. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the 2026 allocation for the National Apprenticeship Program has been reduced from 300 million Ghana cedis to 150 million Ghana cedis. How do you use 150 million Ghana cedis to train 100,000 people? It cannot be the case. And that is why I'm saying that the Ghanaian people was expectant of a budget that was going to give prosperity. There was expectant of a budget that was going to give opportunity.
Honorable
However,
just
what has been given is disappointment.
Your time is saved for you. I can see the Majority Chief Whip on his feet. Yes, please.
Speaker, I rise in pursuance of Order 1221, Speaker C. Speaker, I want to seek clarification from the member who said just a minute or so ago that 15,000 cannot establish business. He should clarify what kind of business he speaks of. Because, Mr. Speaker, we are on record to have voted for money in pursuance of government policy to assist women to set up small businesses. Small businesses, young entrepreneurs. We have voted for money to be allocated to them to set up small businesses So he should clarify. What kind of business he speaks of. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Honorable Majority Chief Whip, what is he to clarify?
Mr. Speaker, the blanket statement that 15,000 Ghana cedis cannot establish business, that cannot be a factual statement. Because
Honorable Member, that is different from saying he should clarify. It's so clear to you that you don't need clarification again. Because it's so clear to you, you are raising questions on the matter that he is called to question, that how much can 15,000, what business can 15,000 be used to start? And so it's clear to you. So you are thinking that the 15,000 could be used to set up businesses. So there is no need for clarification again.
Mr. Speaker, there's the need. It should be specific. It should be specific. Mr. Speaker, yes, because, Mr. Speaker, in my constituency, if he says that 15,000 cannot set up a medium-scale business, then we can be clear. Even that one is debatable. But small-scale businesses...
You may disagree with him. You may disagree with him, but the issue you raised is one of clarification. In fact, he even cited that 15,000 cedis cannot buy a container. He was specific as to a type of business. Now, you can disagree with him, but he's very clear. You can get up and say that 15,000 can be used to start banana sales on a tabletop, which is business. You can say those things, but he is very clear. There's no need for clarification. So please, go on.
Mr. Speaker, you don't need 15,000 to purchase a container. You don't. You don't.
Majority Chief, you are out of order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for protecting your nephew. Mr. Speaker, we have to always be seeing you in this chair. Because normally when we are here, we feel protected. Mr. Speaker, the budget provides no bold recruitment.
Yes,
No bold recruitment plan, no roadmap, and no credible strategy for absorbing trained young people into productive work. Mr. Speaker, in the 2026 budget, they have indicated to the people of Ghana that they are going to create 800,000 jobs. Mr. Speaker, I am going to give the breakdown of their 800,000 jobs promise, and the Ghanaian people are going to judge whether these are sustainable jobs, whether these are permanent jobs that they promised the people of Ghana in the build-up to the 2024 elections. Mr. Speaker, they say, and I'm happy that the Roads Minister is here, they say that 490,000 jobs are going to be created out of the big push. Mr. Speaker, you and I know that the tenure of engagement of these people who are going to be employed by the big push is coterminous with the lifespan of the contract. So clearly, Mr. Speaker, this cannot be a sustainable job. These are not permanent jobs. Also saying that the national policy on integrated oil palm development is going to create 250,000 jobs. Palm oil. Mr. Speaker, the point is that these cannot be sustainable jobs based on which the Ghanaian people voted for them. The Ghanaian people in 2024 asked them for sustainable jobs, asked them for permanent jobs. This is not the kind of jobs that we asked from them. Mr. Speaker, in fact, early this year, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was forming his government, they promised the people of Ghana that they were going to establish a Ministry of Youth Development. The strategy was that the Ministry of Youth Development was supposed to be established deliberately to deal with youth issues in this country. Deliberately. Today, as we speak, about 10 months down the lane, the Ministry of Youth and Sports can only boast of Red Means Stop campaign. Nothing has been done by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And that is why I'm saying that the youth of this country are disappointed, because we were expecting a government that will create sustainable jobs. We were expecting a government that will create permanent jobs. Unfortunately, that has not been done. Mr. Speaker, let me take you back to the 2025 budget. And I'm happy that the Minister of Education is here. Mr. Speaker, in the 2025 budget, page 105, they stated that to address menstrual hygiene challenges and reduce absenteeism, that is item number 636, to address menstrual hygiene challenges and reduce absenteeism among female students, government, in fulfillment of their 120 days social contract, will distribute free sanitary pads to 1.3 million female students in basic and secondary schools. Mr. Speaker, the same 2025 budget, when it comes to the social sector, page 71, they stated that, Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 292 million to commence the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. Mr. Speaker, the question is, 292 million Ghana cedis divided by 1.3 million pads, how much is it? Mr. Speaker, 292 million Ghana cedis has been allocated to the Ministry of Education to purchase sanitary pads. A simple calculation will tell you that 292 million Ghana cedis divided by 1.3 million will give you about 225 Ghana cedis per pad. Mr. Speaker, now when it comes to the 2026 budget, here is the catch. Mr. Speaker, here is the catch. The 2026 budget, when they sought to account to the people of Ghana that they decided to distribute free sanitary pads to the Ghanaian people, this is what they say. Page 78, to promote gender equality in education and reduce absenteeism, 6.6 million packs of sanitary pads were distributed to girls in public basic schools. Mr. Speaker, assuming without admitting that the allocation was not changed, 292 million Ghana cedis indeed was used to purchase the 6.6 million pads that they said they have distributed. A simple calculation will tell you that one pad is 45 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, I have in my hands here a publication that was made by the Ministry of Finance. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance posted this on their Facebook wall. They said that sanitary pads has reduced from 25 Ghana cedis to 15 Ghana cedis. According to their own words, if indeed sanitary pad is now 15 Ghana cedis, why are they now accounting to the people of Ghana that one sanitary pad is 45 Ghana cedis? This is a trouble government. Mr. Speaker, this is a trouble government. This is not what the people of Ghana voted them to come and do. Mr. Speaker, to end with my submission, here in this house, Mr. Speaker, here in this house.
Hold on, please. Your time is saved. Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, ordinarily, I shouldn't intervene. Mr. Speaker, I just heard my colleague saying this is a chobo government. Mr. Speaker, he said all sorts of... Oh, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I just saw my friend, the former Minister for Lands. The last time you got up here saying something, you have to apologize and withdraw. You are still up again. I encourage you to wait. Mr. Speaker. Oh yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'll repeat it, Mr. Speaker. He stood there last week and actually told untruth and was caught. He told untruth and was caught. Mr. Speaker, I will not withdraw. Last week, you told an untruth and you were caught. Is that not the case? Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister, you are up on a point of order. So raise the point of order and let's go on.
Mr. Speaker, two things. My colleague said that, first of all, the 480,000 jobs is not sustainable. Mr. Speaker, civil engineers, quantity surveyors, architects, most time in the world, we don't have a permanent job. We move from job to job. I am happy that government can create at least 480,000 jobs for 2 years. That is actually a good record. When we get to 2027, we continue. So these are actually sustainable jobs. Mr. Speaker, the second one is what I was talking about. Mr. Speaker, everybody knows in this country which part of this the aisle actually has fleeced this country to the extent that today, Mr. Speaker, to the extent that national service, which is supposed to be for ordinary people, somebody will take 1.6 billion and he says that it's not yet been proven. And you are calling a government, Chobo government. Really, this side, you shouldn't even be talking. You shouldn't even be talking. If there's a Chobo, you are Chobo times 20,000.
Honorable Minister, you have not raised a point of order. You are rather contributing to the discussion. So please, let's allow him to complete his submissions. Minority Chief Whip, if you are speaking, you take some of his minutes.
Speaker, I know you are too benevolent to do this to me. So on a lighter note, my friend should just take it easy. I know he's a bit sensitive to some of the revelations, thrilling revelations coming out of the budget. But you should relax and enjoy the flight. We are only playing back your own facts. And it's coming from the budget. But seriously, Speaker, my good friend, ordinarily, I wouldn't do this to him. He said, the Honorable Jinapo said something last week, and he had to withdraw. In fact, I came in to endorse. Oh, listen,
you are falling into the same trap. What you are saying is not a point of order, please. I've already ruled on that matter, so you don't go back there. Let's allow the honorable member to complete his comments.
Mr. Speaker, thank you so much for protecting me from this needless interruption. Mr. Speaker, let me put this matter in proper perspective. What the Honorable Minister sought to say here in this House had no basis. As far as the National Service Secretariat is concerned.
Please, 1 minute. 1 minute
Mr. Speaker,
for him.
No basis at all. The point is that I have given a basis in their own budget, their 2025 budget, and the 2026 budget. And you are telling the people of Ghana that you are using 292 million Ghana cedis to purchase 6.6 million Ghana cedis. How do you tell me that the argument that I'm making here is baseless? Mr. Speaker, it is true and it is a fact that in this budget, in their own budget, they have used 292 million Ghana cedis to purchase 6.6 million parts. And I'm saying that a simple calculation of this figure tells you that one part is 45 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, this is a publication. Mr. Speaker, this is a publication from Wezo. It says that the price of your sanitary pad, which was 25 Ghana cedis in January, is now going for 15 Ghana cedis. Now 15 Ghana cedis, they are buying it for 45 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker,
Majority Chief Whip, before he concludes, Majority Chief Whip, you are on your feet. Just a minute. Yes, please.
Speaker, I rise in pursuance of Order 1231. Content of speech. The Honorable Asefua reference the government as Chobo government. Mr. Speaker, that is very unparliamentary.
Sorry, please. I didn't hear the statement.
Mr. Speaker, you may not have heard it.
Yes.
But it's gone into the hands.
I mean, what you said. I haven't heard what you said.
Mr. Speaker, the honorable member, as part of his commentary, said the NDC government is a Chobo government. Mr. Speaker, that is unparliamentary. You can say so on radio. But in this house, that language is not permissible. And so, Mr. Speaker, I am seeking your guidance that portion of the speech be expunged. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Are you mentioning the word TOG?
As a coverage of the debate of the 2026 budget statement by members of Parliament on the floor of the House. The debate is expected to conclude this week, and so subsequently we'll be taking you in and out of Parliament for some of the salient points raised by some of the members of Parliament. My name is Nanatufo Boateng. You're watching Channel 1 Television. For now, we return to normal programming.